was over 50 feet long and looked like it had eaten something very large. The snake was cut open and there were human remains inside, but it wasn't pigment. There was a security guard that was missing from a nearby palm oil plantation. If you want to read the rest of this amazing story, stop by my blog at billschannel.com by clicking on the link in the description below.
All right. So now you guys want to know an explanation. A 50-foot snake eating somebody up, huh? Imagine that. How is that going on? Well, it's real simple. I'll tell you why. They're not allowing these things to have enough forestry to remain in, first of all. And then second of all, is that when you start disturbing the earth so much as to where we have all these earthquakes, all this new water moving around the planet, like the thing about all the tsunamis, all this stuff is opening up. Like I was saying to you guys before, the earth cavity has things that live in it. Now that this earth is getting shooken up and disturbed the way it is, you got all these things being able to come out of the recesses of the earth and actually make it on top of the earth with us. Not to mention that we got crazy ass scientists that has been doing stuff that's contributing to the, you know, type of outgrowth of the normality that we're seeing also. People are like experimenting with trying to clone people and do all kind of shit. And it's just that we've really put ourselves in a state of, we're really in bad shape, you know. And the only way that you're going to get out of that is that you're going to have to rely on universal energy to take control of things and put the calibration of the earth back in balance. It's not something that man can do, because man has taken everything out of balance by his method of war. And believe me, he's going to believe that the way to fix the earth is through more war. So this universal energy that's here right now is starting to talk to everyone. And the first thing he's going to say to you is, stop eating meat. And that's going to be very hard to do because it's very spiritual. But it's been so much on the earth right now that's been spiritual as to where everyone should have a certain spirituality enough where you should be able to get that. Stop killing the animals and eating them. Grow more food. Get away from your government genetically altered food and grow your own if you can. In the meanwhile, it's hard. But the only way you're going to stop things from being hard is that you got to formulate a strategy to soften things up, where you already know that the reason things are hard as they are is because we could go to the archives and see what we've been, and you fix that, change that. And you don't change that by trying to point finger and create another person to say is the ones we should victimize. No, what you do is change yourself. And you change yourself by proving to the universe, I can individually change by not eating dead meat. If you stop eating dead meat, you would get rid of dead propagandas and you will start to grow. But you are not going to grow if you are trying to grow off of eating things that are dead. I'm sorry. This is how you're going to prove to the universe that you are serious about change, because you're going to start with changing your diet. You're never going to call it a diet again. You're going to call it what I ingest. And I am not going to ingest diet. That means that kill it first. That's what diet means. It means kill it. Diet. So if you don't have a diet, you will have a live it. That's what I'm trying to get at you. We're going to change our diets to our ingested live it. Okay? And once you start eating properly, you will start breathing properly, and you will start thinking properly. And the most important goal is to start thinking properly. Trust me on that. Peace and blessings.
Esta jovem sucuri de 6 metros apareceu no Rio Jacaré, na região de Araraquara, estado de São Paulo. Consegue se locomover por causa do peso e do volume nos principais anéis do corpo. É defender. Ela quer fugir, mas para isso tem que se livrar da carga que carrega.
You guys see that big old
O
snake?
que a natureza permite a este animal em fuga fazer?
Now check this out. Imagine this, believe it or not, as one of those black holes I'm telling you about. Okay? Now, what's going on is if you see the front of that, it's just like the front end of a snake. That's all it looks like, right? This thing has swallowed a rhinoceros. And now, when I tell you that the manifestation is life, is that from black holes we all come from, and to black holes we all return. Is that right? Okay, now look at this rhinoceros. This thing has swallowed it. This is a really big snake. I think it's a boa constrictor or a python. Obviously they fed it to it, because I couldn't see any idea of this thing being in captivity and then the rhinoceros just accidentally wandering across the path of it. So we know that. But my point is, you can see that it was easy for this thing to swallow that, right? Now I want you to just take a look at it. Okay? Now what I'm saying to you is that this is a reptile that has swallowed a mammal on here on planet Earth. Okay? Natural occurrence in nature, happens all the time. This one, it was simulated, brought on by men. They put those things together. But it happened nonetheless from an intricate balance of nature being the overall compelling force. But my point is, if you think about the snake as being a female's, vagina, that'll be synonymous with that spiral black hole we just saw. Now, once this rhinoceros goes inside of this snake, it has left the dimension of Earth, but it's still on Earth, but is in another dimension. What I mean is that the insides of that snake stomach has now introduced it to a black hole that's a black hole inside of the black hole that the Earth is in. So these black holes, what I mean, is synonymous with those rings that we saw in that last segment where you saw the white rings inside of the hole and they were all multi-rings. That's what I'm saying. Now, when this snake gets through devouring this rhinoceros that's inside of it, the rhinoceros will be to change this molecular structure through chemical breakdown, all the biogenetic intricate works that goes on inside of the digestive system of the snake, will deliver the remains of that rhinoceros to a extraction port, the snake's ass, if you will. And then when it's extracted and shot back out into the world, it would be left, something will come along and find that as something that it could consume again. It will consume this fecal matter waste from this snake through another black hole known as its mouth. Now, I'm just trying to show you why they showed you that phallus with all those rings showing up the whole composition of it, because a male phallus comes from the woman's hole. That's where it was made and generated at, inside of that cavity that's synonymous with the cavity that you see that rhinoceros being sucked up into. What this is called is tantra sexuality. They actually got a philosophical study of this, how everything in nature is based around the intricate action of universal, well, actually it is sex. That rhinoceros going inside of the mouth of that snake is synonymous with a male's phallus going inside of a female's uterus. I swear to you, that's truth. That's the reason why they made those obelisks that we know as techanules, because they are representation of a phallus having a sexual encounter with the universe that we know as the sky in the heavens. In ancient Kemetic teachings, that is called the goddess Nu. And the earth with its phallus, which is obelisk again, pointing upward into the universe, is called Gaia. These two representations of life, sexual encounters, is broken down into easy described terminology as the mixture of polarities of positive and negative. While we on that point, I was just thinking about something. Now this is just on me. You know I got a problem with that. But I was thinking that it would make more sense scientifically to make the woman gender sign be the positive sign and make the male gender sign be the negative side. And the reason why is because the woman is the one who actually perpetuates life from the both of them coming together. So if there is a union of both of them coming together, the union should be when the man puts his phallus inside of the female's uterus. When that happens, that's where the coming together be. So that's where they cross each other right there. But when the male is alone by himself, he is he's a negative side because he's alone by himself. But the female is always a positive side, even if she never have sex, because she's always possessing the chromosomes necessary to produce male and female inside of her if she was to give birth. So if there's anyone who should be classified as the recipient of the positive side, it should be the female, and the negative side should go to the male. Now that's just me, and I'm not against anything that's set up on truth. The only thing I'm against is the things that's not the perpetuation of truth. I just have to do that because that's why I would sit here, is to find truth. And truth is, why is this planet destroyed the way it is? It's real easy, because people are ignorant, because someone deliberately gave them false teachings. Could that be a possibility? I mean, I'm just asking, because psychotic behavior, it be people doing the same negative shit over and not being happy with the consequences of that, but continuing to do it. Like drinking, getting drunk, vomiting, spending all your money, getting a DUI, losing your job, and continuing to do that. Or having a sexually transmitted disease. All that stuff that people just do over and over and over has given me the conclusion that maybe, just maybe, the earth has a state of psychotic behavior that's been induced to an unsuspecting person or peoples. I don't know, I just think that. But anyway, that's something I wanted to share with you guys about. There's nothing on this earth that cannot return to a whole or come from a whole. If you find me wrong, please let me know. Peace and blessings. If her husband come home right now. Little dog is like, hey baby, good to see you. See, I'm just going to show y'all it is what it is, you know. That is not. Alright, so now this is a king cobra. This is the snake that the Egyptians wore as a symbol of their uteris power, uteris energy, to show the god and goddess power over